In part 1, I revealed the hidden force that's been shaping your reality, the electromagnetic frequencies generated by your consciousness interacting with the quantum field. Thousands of you reached out asking the same question. How do I actually activate this power? But here's what I didn't tell you in part 1. There are levels to this force that most people never discover. There are advanced techniques that can amplify your reality creation abilities by orders of magnitude. And there are hidden obstacles, programs so deep and so subtle that they sabotage your efforts before you even realize what's happening. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to move beyond the basics and enter what I call the advanced activation zone. But I need to warn you, once you apply what I'm about to share, there's no going back to unconscious creation. Your reality will become so responsive to your inner state that you'll need to take complete responsibility for everything that shows up in your life. Are you ready for that level of power? Because what I'm about to reveal isn't just theory. It's a precise protocol that's been tested by hundreds of people who've broken through to extraordinary levels of conscious creation. The 3-phase activation protocol. Most people try to change their reality from the wrong starting point. They begin with their conscious mind, setting goals and making plans. But as I revealed in part 1, your conscious mind only controls about 5% of your experience. Real activation happens in 3 precise phases, and you cannot skip any of them. Phase 1, the dissolution protocol. Before you can install new programming, you must first identify and dissolve the old programs that are actively blocking your desired reality. This isn't just about recognizing limiting beliefs, it's about finding the electromagnetic signatures of old trauma, inherited patterns, and collective programming that are running in your biofield. Dr. Candace Pert's research on the molecules of emotion showed that every thought and feeling creates chemical signatures that get stored in your cellular memory. These chemical patterns continue generating the same electromagnetic frequencies years or even decades after the original experience. Here's a simple but powerful technique. Set a timer for 11 minutes. Sit quietly and ask yourself, what would I have to believe about myself, about life, about possibility, for my current reality to make perfect sense? Don't analyze the answers, just let them surface. These are your active programs. Phase 2, the coherence protocol. Once you've identified the old programs, you need to shift your nervous system into a coherent state before attempting to install new patterns. The Institute of Heart Math discovered that coherent heart rhythms create optimal conditions for neuroplasticity and electromagnetic field organization. The technique is deceptively simple. Breathe in for 5 counts, breathe out for 5 counts, while focusing your attention on your heart center and generating genuine appreciation. Do this for exactly 3 minutes and 33 seconds. This specific timing creates what researchers call psychophysiological coherence, a state where your heart, mind, and emotions are operating in energetic alignment. Phase 3, the imprinting protocol. Only when you're in coherence can you effectively imprint new patterns into your subconscious. But here's the key most people miss. You don't visualize what you want. You embody the electromagnetic frequency of already having it. Feel the texture of that frequency in your body. Notice how gratitude, fulfillment, and natural confidence generate specific sensations. Your subconscious doesn't understand words. It responds to electromagnetic signatures. When you can generate the frequency of your desired reality for sustained periods, your external world will reorganize to match it. Science behind quantum coherence. Since part 1, new research has emerged that validates everything I shared with you. Dr. Dean Radin at the Institute of Noetic Sciences conducted double-blind studies showing that human intention can influence random number generators from distances of up to 2,000 miles. But here's the breakthrough. The effect isn't random. People in coherent emotional states, those generating organized electromagnetic fields, showed 40 times more influence than those in chaotic states. Your level of inner coherence directly determines your power to influence reality. Even more fascinating, when groups of people entered coherence simultaneously, their collective effect was exponentially greater than the sum of their individual effects. This suggests that consciousness operates through what physicist David Bohm called the implicate order, a level of reality where all consciousness is interconnected. Dr. Lynn McTaggart's Global Consciousness Project documented cases where focused group intention has measurably influenced everything from crime rates to weather patterns. When consciousness becomes coherent, it doesn't just change your personal reality, it affects the collective field that we all share. This brings us to something I'll explore more deeply in part 3. You're not just creating your individual reality. You're participating in the creation of collective human reality. And there are forces, both supportive and resistant, that respond to your awakening. The hidden obstacles. Why 97% of people never break through. Here's what no one talks about. As you begin activating this force, you'll encounter resistance that seems to come from everywhere. Relationships become turbulent. Unexpected obstacles appear. Old fears surface with unprecedented intensity. Most people interpret this as evidence that the process isn't working. But it's actually proof that it is. What's happening is that your old reality is fighting to maintain itself. Every system, including the system of your current identity, has what scientists call homeostatic resistance. When you begin generating new electromagnetic frequencies, everything in your environment that was organized around your old frequencies will push back. I call this the activation storm. It typically lasts between 21 and 90 days, depending on how dramatically you're shifting your frequency. Understanding this phenomenon is crucial because most people give up right before their breakthrough. But there's something even more challenging that awaits those who persist, what I call the collective pushback. As your individual consciousness becomes more coherent and powerful, you begin affecting the larger field of human consciousness. And not all aspects of that field welcome awakening. There are morphic patterns, collective thought forms that have been generated by millions of people over thousands of years that actively maintain limitation, scarcity, and unconsciousness. As you begin operating from higher frequencies, these patterns will attempt to pull you back into conformity. In part 3, I'll reveal exactly how these collective patterns work and give you specific techniques for protecting your expanding consciousness from their influence. Because here's the truth. Individual awakening is just the beginning. The real game is collective transformation, and that requires understanding forces that most spiritual teachers never discuss. The measurement protocols, tracking your electromagnetic shifts. One of the most common questions from part 1 was, how do I know if this is actually working? The answer is that there are specific measurable indicators that your electromagnetic field is shifting. Physical indicators. Your sleep patterns will change. You'll need less sleep, but feel more rested. Your digestion will improve as your nervous system becomes more coherent. Many people experience increased energy and vitality as their biofield becomes more organized. Perceptual indicators. Colors appear more vivid. Music sounds richer. You'll notice details in your environment that were always there but somehow invisible before. This is evidence that your consciousness is processing more of the 11 million bits of information available to you each second. Synchronicity. Indicators. Meaningful coincidences will increase dramatically. You'll think of someone and they'll call. You'll need information and it will appear. You'll have insights that prove accurate in unexpected ways. These aren't coincidences. They're evidence that your frequency is aligning with the quantum field's natural intelligence. Emotional indicators. You'll experience what I call natural states more frequently, periods of effortless well-being, creativity, and inner knowing that aren't dependent on external circumstances. These states indicate that you're accessing your superconscious connection. Reality response indicators. External circumstances will begin shifting to match your internal changes, often in ways you couldn't have planned or predicted. Opportunities will appear. Problems will resolve themselves. People will respond to you differently. But here's what you need to understand. These indicators appear in a specific sequence, and the sequence reveals which level of activation you've reached. In part 3, I'll share the complete activation map, the 7 distinct levels of conscious reality creation, and the specific capabilities that unlock at each level. The collective awakening, your role in humanity's evolution. Everything I've shared so far focuses on individual transformation, but there's a larger context that changes everything. We're living through the most significant shift in human consciousness in recorded history. The Schumann resonance, the electromagnetic frequency of Earth itself, has been stable at 7.83 Hertz for thousands of years. But since 1980, it's been fluctuating wildly, sometimes spiking above 30 Hertz. Many researchers believe this is connected to the rapid awakening of human consciousness. Dr. Rupert Sheldrake's research on morphic fields suggests that as more individuals achieve coherent states of consciousness, it becomes easier for others to access those same states. We may be approaching what he calls a morphic breakthrough, a tipping point where awakened consciousness becomes the norm rather than the exception. But here's what's crucial to understand. This transition isn't happening without opposition. There are systems, structures, and even thought forms that benefit from keeping humanity unconscious. As more people awaken to their creative power, the resistance becomes more sophisticated. In part 3, I'll reveal the hidden architecture of collective consciousness, the morphic patterns that govern human behavior on a mass scale, and how individual awakening either reinforces or transforms these patterns. Because ultimately, your personal transformation isn't just about improving your own life. It's about contributing to the evolution of human consciousness itself. The Advanced Techniques Preview. The techniques I've shared today are just the foundation. There are advanced protocols that can amplify your reality creation abilities exponentially. The Quantum Entanglement Protocol, a method for creating instantaneous energetic connections with people, opportunities, and resources that match your desired frequency, regardless of physical distance or logical connection. The Timeline Optimization Protocol, a technique for accessing parallel probability streams and selecting the timeline that leads to your optimal outcomes. This isn't science fiction. It's based on Hugh Everett's many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. The Collective Field Navigation Protocol. Methods for working consciously with morphic fields to accelerate manifestation and protect your consciousness from collective negativity. The Biofield Amplification Protocol. Techniques for exponentially increasing the power and range of your electromagnetic field, allowing you to influence reality at greater distances and with more precision. These aren't parlor tricks or wishful thinking. They're precise applications of consciousness technology that work according to measurable principles. But they require a level of inner development and electromagnetic coherence that most people haven't achieved. In Part 3, I'll walk you through each of these protocols step by step. But I need to warn you, these techniques come with responsibilities. When you can consciously influence reality at these levels, every thought, every emotion, every intention becomes magnified. You must be prepared to take complete responsibility for your creative power. The Integration Challenge. Here's what nobody tells you about awakening to your creative power. The hardest part isn't learning the techniques. It's integrating them into a normal human life. As your consciousness expands and your reality becomes more responsive, you'll face what I call the Integration Challenge. How do you maintain relationships with people who don't understand what you're experiencing? How do you navigate a world designed for unconscious creators when you're becoming a conscious one? Many people who develop these abilities become isolated, thinking they're beyond normal human concerns. But this is actually a sign of incomplete integration. True mastery means being able to operate at these advanced levels while remaining fully human, fully connected, fully engaged with life. The key is understanding that awakening isn't about transcending humanity. It's about fulfilling humanity's highest potential. You're not becoming something other than human. You're becoming the human you were always meant to be. But this integration process has its own challenges and its own protocols. There are specific techniques for maintaining your expanded consciousness while navigating relationships, career, and daily responsibilities. There are methods for protecting your energy without becoming isolated and for sharing your gifts without overwhelming others who aren't ready. In Part 3, I'll address the Integration Challenge directly, giving you practical tools for living as an awakened creator in an unawakened world. Today, you've learned the foundational protocols for activating the hidden force of consciousness. You understand the three-phase activation process, the science behind quantum coherence, and the hidden obstacles that stop most people from breaking through. But this is just the beginning. In Part 3, I'll reveal the complete map of conscious evolution, the 7 levels of reality creation, and the specific abilities that unlock at each level. You'll learn the advanced techniques that can amplify your power exponentially, and the navigation tools for working with collective morphic fields. Most importantly, you'll discover your role in the larger transformation that's happening to human consciousness itself. Because this isn't just about creating a better personal reality. It's about participating in the evolution of our entire species. But here's what you need to understand. The window for this level of awakening won't remain open indefinitely. We're living through a unique moment in human history where these capabilities are becoming accessible to ordinary people. The question is, will you be one of the ones who steps through this window? Your reality is already beginning to shift just from watching this video. The information you've received has started reorganizing your electromagnetic field. The question is, what will you do with this activation? In Part 3, I'll show you exactly how to master the advanced levels of conscious creation. But more than that, I'll reveal the hidden dynamics of collective awakening and your crucial role in humanity's evolutionary leap. Your consciousness is more powerful than you've been taught to believe. Your reality is more responsive than you've been allowed to discover. And your potential impact on the world is far greater than you've been encouraged to imagine. The force was never hidden from you. You were hidden from it, but not anymore. Part 3 is coming soon. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because what I'm going to reveal next will complete your understanding of conscious reality creation and launch you into levels of power you never knew existed. Your awakening is just beginning.